I first heard of Puffpaw, again, like my knee-jerk reaction was just like, oh no. Oh no. Like, no. I'm like, it's a scam. Don't do it. Definitely don't touch it. So to lay some context, this is Refo, and he is one of 3 co-founders for this vape-to-earn project launching on Berachain called Puffpaw. Full transparency, Puffpaw is compensating me for my time to make this review video, but I do have full editorial and creative control. And as someone who is constantly trying to look at the various experiments in consumer crypto, I kind of thought I should give this a second chance and just give it my honest thoughts. I think the reason why I had such a bad knee-jerk reaction is because vaping is a habit I picked up when I was 18. Which was about 10 years ago. And it has been one of the nastiest and hardest habits to quit. And even to this day, I still occasionally vape. And honestly, I hate that I do it. And look, I'm not going to tell you not to vape. You should do your own research on the health effects, etc. But I can tell you that personally, for me, I wish it was a habit that I never picked up. And naturally, when I heard about Puffpaw through the grapevine, I just skim read this article real quick and just thought, great, this quit smoking project was basically going to try to encourage more people to vape to get tokens. But once I actually got to chat with Refo, I actually think that this project is doing a lot more than I initially gave them credit for. So, quick little background on the team. There's Refo and there's 2 other co-founders. They all went to college together, and interestingly enough, the other co-founders come from the vape industry. So Puffpaw has its own in-house infrastructure for designing the hardware and manufacturing the vaporizers and pods themselves. In September 2024, the team actually announced their $6 million seed round. So what is vape-to-earn even? Like, what does it actually mean? It's basically an incentive system, a vape-to-earn game designed to try to incentivize you to vape lower nicotine levels and to vape less in general. And I think we all kind of know someone that is literally glued to the hip with their vape. And one of the things that I liked about how they designed their incentive system is that every vape is actually capped at 150 puffs daily. So if you exceed 150 puffs, you stop earning rewards.
So use that data. Because we know your nicotine level, we know how much nicotine you are consuming every single day. The tokenomics is very simple. If you go lower with your nicotine level, the higher daily return you are going to get.
And what are people getting? Is it a Puffpaw token?
Yes, they're going to earn our, we call it a vape token. That's the ticker, vape token. That's the token you're going to earn on a daily basis. And there are 3 different factors to determine how many tokens you're going to earn as your daily incentive. The amount of puffs, the nicotine level, and also the rarity of the NFT. So we do have our Puff Pass, which is our Genesis NFT. That NFT is like a ticket for you to get into the game. So if you don't have that NFT, this is just like a normal vape. Holding that NFT, you can join the vape-to-earn game.
If you mint the Genesis NFTs for Puffpaw, which are called Puff Passes, you get a Genesis vape and 3 standard pods, and that unlocks access to the vape-to-earn game. And if you're a non-vapor or smoker that holds one of these Genesis NFTs, you can actually lease it out to a friend who is trying to quit nicotine and split the rewards with them. One of the other features of the vape tokens that you earn from participating in this program is you can actually use them to purchase more pods from Puffpaw. So let's take a quick look at the vape itself. On the screen, you'll be able to customize the NFT that is displayed, and you can also see how much you're earning in real time. And for those who care, the liquid from the pods is apparently made from all natural ingredients. Each pod has its own unique encrypted chip and identification number, and you can actually see that those encrypted chips are here. There's also this pin that you will need to push in every time you are using a new pod, which actually seals the pod from leaking while you travel. One of the crazy things to me about this is how small it is. I remember when I was seeing photos of it online, I actually thought it was going to be a lot bigger. As someone who used to have like a massive vape that had like a modifier and all of that stuff, this is actually really nice, and for all the cool features that you get, it's relatively compact. It's interesting, the flavoring. So I'm not sure if you guys saw on the screen, but the screen actually changes and you can see that it's starting to track how long your puff duration is. I do have to say, compared to the disposable vapes that I vape, this actually does feel a lot lighter. And your vape itself will actually connect to Puffpaw's mobile app, and all of your smoking data, the amount of puffs, duration of puffs, timestamp of each puff, nicotine level, and flavor can be seen in-app. It's also encrypted and stored on-chain. So unlike disposable vapes, you're actually able to accurately track how much nicotine you're taking in every single day, how frequently you're vaping, and how much you're actually vaping, which I actually think is really helpful, especially if you're trying to quit. I know when I was vaping a lot, I honestly couldn't even keep track of how much I was vaping. I just knew how many Juul pods I was going through every week, and I didn't really have a way to quantify it apart from how many pods did I go through or how many new vapes did I buy. And perhaps the most interesting thing to me about the data is I think long term, this is actually a huge core of Puffpaw's business.
So on top of the vape-to-earn, to quit nicotine, the second part is we are collecting tons of the smoking data here, health data here, consumer data here. You know, our users, 1.3 billion smokers, they are sub-health population. Their data, it's very useful, very helpful, very valuable, first of all. The second thing is that this is respiratory disease related data. Traditionally, there's no such device to collect this segment of data. Even during or after the pandemic, there's no such device. It doesn't make sense for you to build this device just to collect this segment of the health data. So what we're doing here, using a fun way to collect that data, will be so valuable for data consumers, insurance companies, pharma companies, or health product companies, any companies that are interested to sub-health population or smokers. Since it's a new trend, based on the growth rate, based on all of the data we can see from the market, if we cannot stop it, we have to make it 10 times or even 100 times better.
So will you be taking, like one side of the business is obviously building the vapes, getting those out to mass market, having this like tokenomic flywheel to help people lower their nicotine intake, is the other part of the business basically taking this data and sharing it?
Very good question. We are not sharing or selling users' health data or this kind of whatever data we're collecting. We are building the platform to onboard data consumers to directly buying the data from our users on the platform. We use TE, we work with infra project Click, so they are able to help users to encrypt their data and put a key on chain. So every time there's a new data consumer trying to buy the data from that user, they will need to bid and offer. They have to pay. And then that data owner, the user, can offer him the access of that key of that data vault. So only that third party who already paid have the access to that data vault to get the data from the user. And anybody else, if you want to get the data, you have to pay again. So we will be the platform to pair both sides as the data trading
marketplace.
Yes.
Yeah. So I gotta say, from a business perspective, it's all kind of starting to click and make sense for me. And I actually think it's really smart that they're choosing to pilot a program like this with crypto natives. I don't know if you guys have been to a crypto conference, but anytime you go, everyone is vaping literally everywhere. And if I'm being honest, I think at the end of the day, if someone wanted to abuse a program like this, they can, in the sense that once they hit their max puff cap for daily incentives, they can just pick up another disposable vape and vape that until the cap for the Puffpaw resets. But I think for people who actually really want to quit nicotine or start weaning off of 24/7 vaping because of health impacts or whatever their reasons are, I mean, I can personally see the appeal. The encryption, tracking, and storing of user data is really an interesting use case of blockchain rails. And at the end of the day, it's actually a pretty cool experiment that's like consumer-focused DePIN, or decentralized physical infrastructure, that's sitting at this niche little intersection of health data, vape culture, and crypto. So if you vape and you're trying to quit, or know someone who vapes that wants to quit, it might be worth doing a little bit more research into Puffpaw. I know for myself, after getting to chat a bit more with the team and just going through the docs and like sitting with the product, I think I definitely judged it really harshly when I first heard about it. But this is kind of a really cool use case of crypto incentives and just like mixing it all together. So if there's a world in which a product like this that's powered on blockchain rails can actually make it easier for folks to quit nicotine or to like reduce their vaping, I'm all for it. I think we need more products that are trying to make unhealthy habits at least feel a little bit healthier, or at least feel more transparent, so we kind of know what we're doing to our bodies. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me. I'm like really excited to actually like look at the packaging in more detail and like do a little bit more of a deep dive into the product and use it a little bit and test it out. So yeah, thank you for all the alpha.
Thank you.